night. I pull up, give it deep for the night. Tryna fuck in the VSI. We can't fuck up my seats cause they.
I literally want to cry. So if you didn't know, I have a sister and her name's Ashley. And we both have boyfriends. And every night we both fall asleep on the phone with our boyfriends. So one day we're all hanging out and we're like just talking. And my sister's boyfriend looks at me and he's like, "You need to stop going into your sister's room in the middle of the night." And I look at him and I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't have a reason to go into her room. Like I don't go into her room, especially in the middle of the night." Then my boyfriend hops in the conversation and he's like, No. He's like, "No, I hear Ashley go into Kayla's room every night and stare at her." So me and my sister both look at each other and we're like, we don't go into each other's rooms, do we? And we agreed that we do not. And they said this has been going on for months. So for months, somebody or something has been going into me and my sister's room for about 15 minutes every night and watching us sleep. But it only gets worse.
Girls, tell me about a time where your quick thinking probably saved your life. I'll go first. 2 years ago, I was walking my dog at the park and a man approached me and asked to take a picture of her. And I said yes, because why not? It's a picture of a dog. So he starts taking a picture of my dog, and then I realized that he was like holding up her collar, and then it hit me. My address is on that collar. He's not taking a picture of my dog, he's taking a picture of my address. So I told him that I actually didn't feel comfortable with him having a picture of my dog, and I asked him to delete it. So he deletes it and then like starts walking away really fast. And I was like, "Excuse me, sir, no, could you also go into your deleted album and delete it from there?" And he goes, "I don't have a deleted album." And I was like, "You have an iPhone, everybody has a deleted album, could you please delete the picture?" And he was like, "Sorry, I don't have a deleted album," and like keeps walking away. And keep in mind, this is like 2 PM in a park, like there's other people around. So now I'm like chasing after him and I'm telling him, "Sir, I know you have the album, I will show you where the album is, can you please go onto your phone so that we can delete the picture?" Oh, part 2.
I cannot believe I had this table where they're on a date. I guess it was like the first date, and the guy was like, "Don't worry about it, baby. Like, it's all on me. You order whatever you want on the menu." Like, he didn't even let this girl order. He was like, "Yeah, I'll take one of this, one of this, one of this." Like, the bill was crazy high. So I was like, "Oh, shit. Like, okay, let's get that tip money, bitch." So the girl was like, "Oh my God, papi, like, you're so crazy. Oh my God, like, this is so expensive. No." And he's like, "Don't worry about it. Like, you know, it's all on me. It's always gonna be on me. Like, if we were to be in a relationship, it would be on me. Like, I would be taking care of you." And I'm standing there like, so do you guys want the Sprite or no? Like, I'm confused. And every time I would pass the table, he deadass would be talking about how much money he makes, how he can't afford anything he wants, like how this is easy for him. And he's obviously trying to impress this girl because this girl's eyes were like, "Oh my God, like I scored the jackpot with him. I did the thing." And I was like, okay, whatever. So whatever. It comes time for me to drop the bill. And I drop the check and I'm like, "Oh, take your time, whatever. Do what you got to do with it. Like, stick it in your."
I want to know, what is your most embarrassing story?
This isn't my most embarrassing story, but it still keeps me up at night sometimes, so story time. Freshman prom. I waited till the last minute to realize that I need to get my toes done because I'm wearing open toe shoes. All the nail salons were booked, so I literally bought fake toenails and glued them on. Fast forward to prom, I'm having so much fun. Like, what could go wrong? I had signed up for the teardown crew, so I had to stay till the lights turned on. So the lights turned on, and what scattered across the cafeteria floor, you ask? Toenails! Some little butthead is like, "Oh, whose toenails? There's literally toenails on the ground!" And this was like slow motion for me. I looked down at my feet, and all the toenails had popped off except for the big toes. Some of the kids are like, "Yo, we have to figure out whose toenails these are." I overheard and I power walked to the bathroom. My heart is beating, okay? Pure adrenaline. I ripped my toenails off, throw them in the trash. Come back and I try to help them find whose toenails they were. And we never found her.
You guys are not even going to believe it when I say that when I was 15, I almost became a stepmom. Yes, we did skip a few chapters, so let's start from the beginning of the book. Back in the day, in middle school, there was this new bad boy in town. And for the purpose of the story, his name will be Dean. So Dean was a little bit older, but he would date some of the middle school girls. A little sus, I know, but even beyond this man had a bad reputation. And I did my best to stay away from guys like him. That was until the second quarter of my sophomore year in high school happened. And while my mom and I were walking around Walmart looking for a pair of jeans, we ran into Dean's mom. Well, our mom started talking and bonded really well. And that's when his mom suggested that we would be a really cute couple. She talked about how much he's changed, so I went ahead and added him on Snap. And the insane thing is that we actually started having really good conversation, like deep existential ones. But one night I was bored and started to creep on his Instagram account, and I came across a gender reveal photo. This man had a whole son on the way, and I accidentally liked the photo, and that's when I got a text from Dean saying, "Go ahead, ask me."
Story time about how I set up my boyfriend to cheat on me so that I could break up with him. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I'm at the airport, so I'm sorry if it's noisy. My boyfriend and I have been together for way too long. When our relationship first started, I was constantly chasing him. He never wanted a relationship and basically didn't want to commit to me. So basically, he was trying to be an F-boy while he was with me. And of course, I let him do whatever he wanted because I was too afraid to lose him. I didn't want to be that annoying, nagging girlfriend, so I just never said anything to him. Fast forward 5 years. I've had a huge glow up since we started dating. I lost weight, I got super fit at the gym, like I have abs now. I opened up my own nail salon, and I even got myself a car and a house. Well, let's just say that he stayed the same. In fact, he has no ambitions to getting a better job or anything, and it really annoys me. He started talking about getting married, and I was like, hell nah. But I don't know how to tell him that I don't want to be with him anymore. I mean, I love him, but I just don't want to be with him anymore. And because I'm too much of a coward to actually break up with him, I set him up to cheat on me. I found this girl on Instagram, and I told her to DM my boyfriend. He DM'd her back, part 2 is
What's the worst first date I've ever been on? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to tell you right now. Before I met my smoke show of a husband, I was on dating apps, as you do. This man messages me out of the blue and he goes, "I like your face. Let's go get some food." I love food. Are you my soulmate? He says, "Meet me at my house. I will drive us to the restaurant together." Why did we not just meet there? I have no idea. I drive 45 minutes to his house. He's standing outside of it. He walks up to my car and he goes, "I've lost my keys. Can you drive us there?" Should I have just left him right there and gone home? Yes. Did I? Absolutely not. He gets in, starts giving me turn-by-turn directions. He could have been leading me to an abandoned warehouse and I still would have been like, left at this stop sign? Okay. We end up at a Taco Bell, which is fine. I'm like, dine in or drive through? And he's like, drive through. And I'm like, great, he has a plan. We get to the speaker and he just leans over and goes, "I would like 100 hard-shell tacos, thank you."
Part 2. I'm sorry for the delay. So I'm still chasing after him, and people at the park are like starting to look at us now because I'm chasing after him and I'm telling him to stop walking. And so he stops, and I tell him again to delete the photo from the deleted album, and he goes, "I don't have a deleted album." And I was like, "Yes, you do. Everybody does. It'll take 10 seconds. And he goes, "Fine." And he like goes in his phone and does something for a second. He goes, "There, it's gone." And I was like, "Could I see the deleted album just to make sure it's gone?" And he goes, "No, you can't look at my phone." And I was like, "I don't want to look at your phone. I just want to see the album just to make sure the picture is gone. That's it." And he goes, "No, you're not going to look at my phone." And I was like, "Sir, I'm not going to stop and I'm not going to leave until you show me the album. So please just show me the album so we can be done with this." So he shows me the album. The picture was still there. So I made him delete it in front of my eyes. What if I hadn't noticed that he took a picture of my address? And what if I went home that day and, that night when I took my dog out to pee, he was outside waiting for me? I mean...
What's a really weird thing that your body does that you're not sure anybody else's body does?
So apparently my best friend thinks this is my time to shine. When I was 2 years old, my mom slammed a door shut on my finger and it ripped off the top piece of my finger. This was back in the 90s and I got a skin graft. So they took the skin, instead of taking it from like the back of my leg or a piece under my arm or something, they didn't want the scar to grow as I grew. So they took it from my groin area, my bikini line. Well, when I got home with the cast, I dunked my hand in the toilet and it got wet inside the cast, so my finger healed wrong and it turned brown, which is really weird. But that's not even the best part. So when I hit puberty and I started growing hair down there, I also started growing hair on my finger. Kids found that out in school and then they started calling me Coochie Finger. Anyways, here's my finger. Probably can't see the hair. If you're interested, I'll post another video of the hair close up.
So this one time I had to stay at my grandma's because my dad was on vacation. And I was having a huge box of clothes come in and I was not about to have these hoes stolen, so I had my friend stop by to put them inside. So I called my friend up and I was like, "Hey, can you tell me when you get to my house and let me know when you put the package in?" She's like, "I got you, shawty." I was like, "Bet, girl." So around 10 minutes later, I got a call from her freaking out. She was like, "Kayla, is there anybody at your house?" I was like, "No, my dad's on vacation and I'm at my grandma's." She said, "No, Kayla, there is somebody at your house right now." So I start freaking out. I'm like, "Girl, what do you mean?" And she said she saw someone walk across this huge window and then my dad's lights turned on. So I start freaking out. I'm like, what did you see walk across the window? Like, who did it look like? And she said it was just a black, tall figure that walked across that window. And around 5 minutes of being on the phone, freaking out, she said my dad's lights turned off again. Eventually, me and my grandma drove by the house to make sure nobody was there, and of course, nobody was in my house. And it only gets worse.